Today I'm going to talk about how to use Peardeck for remote instruction and how I use Peardeck every day to ensure that kids are participating, that kids are paying attention, and the kids are actively thinking about the content that I'm teaching them, whichever content it might be. Just for today's session, I want to talk about a few vocabulary terms that I'm going to be talking about so we're all on the same page. When I say PD, I mean Peardeck, the program that I'm talking about today. When I talk about Google Slides, I'm talking about Google's version of PowerPoint that they have on Drive. And Drive is something that we all have on our NYC DOE email. The cool thing about it is that you can, and I'm sure you all know this, you can go onto any computer anywhere and edit or work on your work or your slideshow or your docs or whatever it is. And it works easier with Google Classroom. That's why I use Slides. I've always used Slides simply because I could go onto multiple computers so I didn't have to carry a flash drive around because I would lose it. Anyway, interactive slides. When I talk about interactive slides, I talk about slides that we create and then the students can answer or respond or do something with the slides, depending on the type of interactive slide that we want. So I'm going to talk about a few different things. Let's keep going. Why I use Peardeck every day. So I use it because I can tell who's really there and who's really participating. I can tell who's actually understanding the material that I'm presenting. And I can easily translate Google Slides that I've already made in the past and add different types of questions depending on what I want to find out from my students. You can even put it as an assignment on Google Classroom for them to do asynchronously. So like tomorrow, it's Thursday evening right now when I'm filming this, like tomorrow we have an asynchronous day. So if I already had a Peardeck that I had created, I could just make it into an asynchronous thing and then they can go do it and I could check it later. Or if you have a lot of students who are absent all the time, you can make it as an assignment for those students so they can make up the classwork. Even if students don't do the worksheet that I make for them that day, I know that if they're here on Peardeck and I am making sure they are interacting and making sure they're doing the work, they're still thinking about the content and they're still actively using their brain to think about English or Spanish or whatever it is that I'm teaching them. Students are forced to be present and think about the content. That's the type of thing that I like to think about. So attendance and participation. The cool thing about Peardeck is that the teacher can see who's logged into the Peardeck, see who has answered the question, and use that information to call out students who are inactive, or maybe they've stepped away, or maybe they've fallen asleep, or maybe they just turned on the computer and that's them thinking that they're present at school. But really, if we want them to actually engage in the thinking and the work of content, we can force them to do that this way by saying, oh, hey, Fiona, are you actually here? Because you're not answering the Peardeck question. And that's a part of being present in this class. That's just something that we use. It's a tool that we can use as teachers to make sure that our students are actually thinking and engaging in the work. And so the question types that I use most often are multiple choice, open response, check-in or temperature check type questions, draw and fill-in questions, and content-specific pre-made questions. All of these are on Peardeck and much, much more. But these are the ones that I'm going to talk about today, and these are the ones that I like to use. I'm also going to tell you how to build them and how to do all of them. So we've already looked at how to install Peardeck because I've already clipped that clip in before this. Now I'm going to talk about multiple choice questions. You're not going to see the actual choices that you give students. But rest assured, the students will see them on their devices or on whatever devices they're using. They can use their phone, they can use their iPad, they can use whatever they're using at home. So let's start. You're going to go to Add-on. You're going to go to Peardeck because you've already added Peardeck into your add-on. You're going to open Peardeck add-on. This will come up. This is our green Start Lesson button. We're not going to do that right now. Here, there's a bunch of little buttons. These little buttons allow us to make interactive slides. The first one is text. That's not what I want to use right now. This one is choice. Choice meaning multiple choice. So the question that I have on my slide that everyone is going to see on the Google Meet window is, which platform is Ms. Cohen presenting about? So I'm going to make a couple of choices. I'm going to click this, and it's going to tell me that it's working, and this is going to pop up. So it gives you three options to fill in. The cool thing about Peardeck is you can type in and you can modify all of the things, all of the different slides, all of the different interactive things that they have, all the options, all the templates. You can modify them however you like. So for this, my question is, which platform is Ms. Cohen presenting about? Okay, so choice. For A, I'm going to say Nearpod. For B, I'm going to say Peardeck. And for C, I'm going to think about Kahoot, because these are all kind of members of the same family, right? And then I'm going to click Update Slide. I'm not going to add any more. If I wanted to, I could add another and another, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to get rid of those ones that I added on because I don't need them. I'm going to stick with my 3, and I'm going to update the slide. When it's updated the slide, it's going to put this like gray little guy that you can click on and you'll see it, but see how it says don't change this link? Don't touch it. Sometimes I move it all the way down because I like to fill up the entire slide sometimes, but really you shouldn't touch it, especially if you're just starting out with Peardeck. Just leave her alone. Okay, I'm ready to move on to my next slide. The next slide that I have is turn the following into note-taking. Ms. Cohen decided to use Peardeck for each class. This led to higher attendance and student engagement. Awesome. I know there's a lot of spaces here, so I'm going to fix that. Okie dokie. Now, if I want an open-ended question, meaning something where the students literally create the entire response with text, I'm going to use the text button. I'm going to push it. This one is my favorite. It's my favorite because if I'm giving like subordinating conjunctions exercises, or if I'm giving note-taking exercises, I can just do this in class. And they can do even like write a sentence about this picture, write 2 questions and a statement about this picture. That's your thing right there. Boom. You're going to see the gray bar again on the bottom. You're not going to touch it. You're good to go. You're going to go to your next slide. So here I'm clicking on the left side. You see I'm clicking on to 7. So check-in questions. I'm also going to call this check-in/temperature check question. These are the type of questions that like you ask kids like, okay, are you okay? Like thumbs up, thumbs down on a scale of 1 to 4 to see how they're doing. I like to open the template library, and there's a bunch of different pre-made templates that they have for the beginning, during, and the end of the lesson. So I'm going to do that again. This is the thing that comes up when you hit Peardeck. I'm going to click Open Template Library. Lesson builders, they call them. They have beginning. They have a bunch of different ones. So like this one is, how was the homework assignment? So you can just ask the students like, how did it go with the homework assignment? That's a type of a temperature check question. But I'm going to delete that one because I actually don't want that. Another one that they have for during the lesson, so I'm just going to show you that again. I was in beginning, I went back, and then to during. This one is a drag your dot question. So Peardeck has a really cool thing where you can drag, the students can drag dots, and this question is saying drag your dot where you're feeling. So they can put keep going, I'm good, I'm a little confused, or stop, I need help. This is really good if you're teaching something and there's multiple steps to it and you need to see where they are. This is a good thing to use. But I'm also going to delete this one because I want to show you guys another one. This is a little bit more cheesy, but it's still kind of nice. Do you feel comfortable sharing your thoughts out loud right now? This is a way maybe to get a couple of students to speak, right? I'm also going to delete that because I don't want that one either. I just want to show you guys. Go back to temperature check. They have ones for summarize you just learned. Is a statement true, false? But I'm going to go back and review all of those later. End of lesson. This is one of my favorites. Circle how you are feeling right now. I like to use this in the beginning or in the middle of, like after I've covered a couple of really quick things. I like to circle this to to find out if I have to review what I've just taught or slow down and not move on to what I'm going to do next. The students can draw and draw over the one that they correspond to, and you get some really good responses. So let's move on. Draw filling questions. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So if you had a fill-in exercise, all right, let's do this one. Hello, my name is, today is, tomorrow is. This is a super simple exercise. What I want the kids to do is either draw in the responses or type in the responses. So I'm going to click draw. And this will make it so kids can draw onto the text. Another really good way to use this, would be, and I'm going to duplicate this and just show you how I would do this also. Circle the nouns. Miss Cohen went to school on Monday, but she was not there on Tuesday. Circle the nouns. So the idea is that the students would circle the nouns on their device. This is a really good tool to test that type of thing. You could also do like circle the sentence, circle the question, circle the subordinating conjunction, circle the appositive, right? Now let's talk about the content-specific questions that Peardeck has. So if you go to this template library, which we get as a Peardeck Premium School for free, which is super awesome, there's a bunch of different things that they have pre-made that you can play with. Critical thinking. So I'm just going to open them up so you guys can see them. Like I mentioned earlier, you can literally edit all of these to however you want. You can do anything. You can write anything. So I can see this being used in science, being used in social studies, English, you name it. Math. If you want them to make any kind of connection or tell the difference in similarities, this is something that you can have kids do. And this is a great activity to have in your synchronous 20 minutes after you're due now. Consider different viewpoints. Again, you can change all of this. You can delete that and write whatever you want. It says draw, type your thoughts on this topic in one head. Draw and type the point of view of someone else in the other head. You can have them draw pictures, faces. You can have them draw ideas or thoughts that different philosophers or different world leaders were thinking. You can have them draw thoughts or ideas from different characters in a book. Whatever. You can use this in Spanish. You can use this anywhere. I'm going to delete that too because we're done looking at that. Step up to the solution. Let's say the answer to this problem lies at the top of the mountain. To get to it, there are many steps along the way. Try to identify the steps you need to take. So this is something that you might be able to use. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of how I would use it in my content, ELA or Spanish, but that's just because I can't think of it right now. I'm sure this can be used in different content. Do a dirty delete. I don't want that. So for these basic thinking ones, you can use these in any content. So like consider what we need to know. What do we know already? What do we not know? These are different things that you can have for any content. Get rid of you. Okay. They have interpret, draw solutions, explain. All of these things are pre-made with the instructions pre-made. And like I said, if you don't like the instructions, you can tweak them if you want to. Let's go back to this library. They also have specific subject areas, like example questions are ideas for any content area. Like, look, there's a map one where you can just draw things on the map. Like, it wouldn't work for this summer, but people could be like, hey, where'd you go over vacation? My couch. But that's just an idea. They have a graph one for math, which is kind of awesome. It looks like that. And like I said, you can edit this and have them write whatever it is. And then this is cool because you can write words and have them match in the words. This is just one way that I have my Spanish students do vocabulary. And I'm going to leave these up so we can see how they circle the correct choice. La camisa del chico es roja. So the shirt on the boy is red. It would be that one. So they have to circle it, right? So you could change it, which is like, I love this. You can change it and you can just have them circle it. And the kids are working, the kids are thinking, but they feel like they're having fun, which is awesome. Let's go back and let's look. They have math. So what mathematical question could we ask? Choose a response. You write the question and they choose it. Which one of these doesn't belong? Interpret your prompt here. So you put your prompt and then they interpret it. Insert your prompt here. There's tons of different graphs that they have. And then they have why and use a Desmos calculator to graph, solve the problem, and type the numerical answer. I love all of these for math. For science, they have a periodic table of elements. They have a mock molecule, so you can have the kids draw the molecule and the different protons and neutrons. I really love that. You can have the students talk about what's happening here. You have a distance and time graph. You have one that talks about the rays of the sun and how our Earth is warmed in different parts depending on its axis. And you have a diagram of the earth as well, an event diagram, cause, effect, all of these things, claim, evidence, reasoning. I love it. It's really, really good. We have social studies ones, big question, factor, opinion, cause, effect, evaluate. And we also have world languages and ELA. So this is matching terms. I love this one because this is great for language. And so they have free text, but you can edit it however you want it to be. Spanish-speaking countries. So they have a lot of different things, and I really encourage everybody to just look through and see what they have and see how you can use it in your lessons. In ELA, they have a Venn diagram. They have drop the dots to the nouns, which is similar to the idea that I had before where you can circle the nouns, but you can have them do this as well. It's just as great. They have a correct the sentence, which would be good for complete sentences, sentence and fragments. This is great. Everybody should be doing this. They have an understanding the reading. They have an understanding the reading where kids can write into it. And they have an illustrate and a story map. And they have what method of persuasion is the author using. So they have all these things that everyone can use. It's just a matter of like really looking at it and thinking about how you want to incorporate it into your lesson. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my lesson. When you're ready and you're on Google Meets. If you're on Google Meets, then you're going to go to your Google Slides. You're going to click the Start Lesson button. Once you click that, this is what's going to happen. It's going to generate your Peardeck, and it's going to give a few things. It's going to give a code. It's going to, down here, give students a link, and it's going to open Teacher Dashboard. What I like to do is when I have this already opened before I go on to Google Meets. And then in the stream, I put our Google Meet link, and then I put this link here. So give students a link. And I'm actually going to delete what I had before, paste it in there, and go. I'm feeling great. Awesome. And I'm going to toggle back and forth to show you what it looks like. So this is our normal vocabulary, and that's great. This is still the, I'm going to start class. So this is what the student sees until you're ready to start class. Now I just pushed start class, and here I am on my teacher dashboard. Here, when you're in teacher dashboard, what's really, really cool is you know how like you'll have 15 or 20 students come into your Google Meet, and then they're there, and you can give them the Peardeck, and I can open dashboard in a new window. And I'm just making sure that this is being recorded also because I want to make sure you guys see everything. Okay, it is being recorded, cool. Because sometimes it comes out into an actual new window. Here at the top it says one student, and I can open roster. Fiona Cohen-Tunca, that's me, okay? But if I have 20 students, it's going to show me who's on the roster, and I can see who's not there. And I can compare. I can say, oh, wait, like, Jordan, you're not there. David, you're not there. Isan, you're not there. Where are you? You need to come into the Peardeck. Let's go. And you can act just how you normally do in regular school. So coming back to this, what I do is you just click through your slides. And as you're clicking through the slides, this is what the students see. And the students have the opportunity to make it bigger for themselves or make it smaller. So now I'm going to go through quickly, and I'm going to go to the interactive slides. So these weren't interactive. These are just, oh, I skipped it. Multiple choice question. The multiple choice question says, which platform is Ms. Cohen presenting about? And here is what the students see. The students see the slide, which platform is Ms. Cohen presenting about, and then they see the questions, Nearpod, Peardeck, or Kahoot. Peardeck. Cool. It doesn't give you the option, from what I know, to say which one is correct or not. So I usually just say, oh, this is the one that everyone chose, but it was wrong because, or I explain why it was wrong and right. Open-ended text questions. So here, this is the one where we wanted students to type in the answer, right? So turn the following into note-taking. I'm just going to write example because that would take me too long, and I've already been talking for a long time. So I'll write example, and the students have an opportunity to write another response if they want. And the teacher is still here doing the teacher presentation. The teacher can, if they want to, look at the answer. See, this is Fiona Cohen-Tunca. She said example. You can star it. You can give feedback here. So again, the star or feedback. And there's other options, so you can hide that response if you don't like it. When you also have the opportunity, because you have so many students, you can sort them. You can sort them by time, you can sort them by response, or you can sort them by student, however you want to do it. Then if you want, you can do a list layout or a grid layout. So you can see more than one at once. They'll populate all around it, or you can show by list. I prefer list, but maybe you prefer grid. Let's move on. This is a check and temperature check question. Oh, here it is. Okay. So now this is what the student sees. The student can write something, or the student can circle. Oh, whoops, the student can do this and then circle. The student can do whatever they want. It's great. Just know that the student can do whatever they want, so they can draw whatever they want while they're doing this. But don't think too much about it, because if you do this often enough, they'll be fine with it and they'll be okay. And if you want, you can show the responses and it pops up right there. If you have more than one student, you have the option of doing a grid layout so you can see everybody's response and then show everybody's response, or you can do a list layout, and that's what we saw before, and then you just scroll up and down and see everybody's. At any time during your presentation, you can do a new prompt, and you can just pick one, like stress check or temperature check. I'm in a good space and can focus. Something is bothering me, but I can still focus. I can't manage my emotions or behaviors right now. Maybe something really crazy just happened, or maybe kids aren't paying attention. Whatever you think you can use this for, this is something you can use. And this is what it looks like on the kids. I'm right here. Great. Show responses. You can see that I put my button right there. This is draw or filling question. So hello, my name is. Hello, my name is. I like this because kids can say their name, Fiona. And they can move it like that. Well, I misspelled my own name. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. And I actually want to make this so people can read it. And I'm going to fix my name. Boom, just like that. Now, this is what this would look like. It's so easy. This is great. You can use this for a variety of different things. That's the same. Oh, this is a draw one. So this is another way that you can use this. I forgot that I had this in here. You can circle the noun. So Ms. Cohen went to the school on Monday, but she was not there on Tuesday. Okay. Show responses. And again, remember, you can have everybody's response like that. You can do, this one is cool because, like, if you wanted to see everybody's response, like, on top of each other, you could see it like this. So everybody's writing would be there, and it, like, all the different colors and everything would mix, and it would look really, really cool. Content-specific questions. Just draw a line from the images to the right place on the map. Ooh, let's test me right now. Okay, so ocean is here, I guess. Swamp. I know there's swamp in there, right? And forest, there's definitely a forest here. There you go. There we go. Great. Graph y equals x plus 2. I'm not doing that because I'm not going to embarrass myself anymore. Draw the lines and match the image to the answer. This one I can definitely do. Amarillo, naranja, verde, azul, morado. Boom. Told you I speak Spanish. Oop, let's go back and see it. There you go. I'm just going through to show you how every one would end up looking. This one is this. Show responses. And keep going. Draw the atom hydrogen. I forgot the atomic breakdown of hydrogen. I know it's like 1. Isn't it like 1? I don't really remember. I'm sorry. I taught science for so long. I should know this. I just completely forgot at this time. But there you go. Let's keep going. Describe what's happening in this image. So students can, oh, this is cool. Students can write and then match the terms. So the students can connect these again, like so, super easy. And the teacher can show the responses as they please. And always remember, you can view, I already did this and this is in this window, but you go here, open dashboard in a new window. Dashboard shows you who is doing what. So right now it says waiting for some response, one for response. I'm just going to do like arbitrarily that. And then the teacher can see who did what. So the teacher can see like Fiona did this one. And when you have 20 kids in your class, you're going to see all of them and it's going to show their names and you'll be able to see how each student is responding or if the student didn't respond at all, so you can call them out. I'm going to keep moving because this is taking a long time. Drag the dots to the nouns just so we get the idea. Show response. Correct the sentence. Oh, this is cool because you can type in or you can actually write in. Oh, understanding the reading. Kids can type in the different answers in different parts of this. So topic, sentence, main idea, detail, support. This is a great activity to have kids do a reading and then do this together rather than do it independently. That's the same again. And that's all I have for this so far. Let's go back here. When you're finished with your Peardeck, what I think is really cool is you can end your session and you can title it, How to Use Peardeck. And today is 11/12/2020. Save and end session. What I always do with this is anybody who participated and anybody who like wrote in their answers, they can get a copy of their answers. So you can share it to Google Classroom. I can just click on any of the Google Classrooms that I'm on and I can, so for example, Spanish, choose an action. I can create a material and then the kids can log in and view their answers. So it's going to generate all this for me. How to use Peardeck. And then I will go and click topic. I have slideshows as my topic, and then I will click post. And that's, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for this. So I hope that after watching this video, you were inspired to use Peardeck because it has really changed my teaching remotely game. Like I actually feel like I'm teaching, I feel like I'm connecting with students, and the students that Miss Walren and I, and that I'm teaching in Spanish, the students that we're seeing, they're telling us that they like being in class because it actually reminds them of being in class. And that's because they're actually thinking about the content and they're communicating with their friends. And they're learning about their friends too. It's a great way for, there's so many things that you can do. You can have kids show a picture of themselves or make an emoji of themselves, and then they can comment on one another or something, It's a really great program. We have a premium package, which is awesome. And I just hope that I inspire you guys to use it. Please feel free at any time to email me, or if you have my number, you can text me. Reach out to me at any time if you need help setting up, and I'll be happy to help you. I love Peardeck. I've been using it for years. I'm using it for about 3 years before I came to Randolph to help deliver PDs to my staff at the charter school I used to work at, and also to, engage with my English language learners at the last school. So it's really great. It's really fun. I hope you enjoy. Bye.